Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Something's up. Hello. Good evening, everyone. All 8 of you. Feel free to say hello. Um, Not too much to talk about tonight. Hi, Heather. How are you, sweetie? I'll do the Epstein first stuff because it's not much to go over, and I know people. The Epstein thing is weird. I could talk about it all day long. But because it does involve political figures, people think it's political and they bail. Um, so I'll talk. Hey, Angel Gotti, how are you, sweetie? So hi, Scott. As far as Epstein goes today, Hillary Clinton did her deposition today. Not much. It was not filmed. Um, what was interesting, she came out, she did about a 7 minute press conference. I do know there were a list of demands that the Clintons had as far as the deposition goes. What I did not know was I knew prior that it was not going to be in front of a camera, but I thought that was at the Clintons' request. Apparently, no, the Clintons had given them an opportunity to do a deposition on camera, and Hillary actually came out and said she wished it would have been done on camera, but they didn't take that opportunity. So that was something I learned. She said basically they asked about her involvement with Epstein and her personal involvement was that she didn't really know him. She didn't have any business ties to him. She knew Ghislaine in passing. That was it. She said they asked the same redundant questions over and over about how she knew him, to which she kept answering the same. She's like, I don't really know him. Now, obviously, her husband does, but his deposition will be tomorrow. But what I also found interesting was at the end, when they finally asked her about, or they went through all the questions about Epstein. No Republicans asked her about Epstein. None. They didn't ask her. So it was all the Democrats hounding her. They wanted to know. Of course, this is her word. She said that after they got done with all the Epstein questions, they started asking about UFOs and Pizzagate, which Pizzagate I'm not going to get into, but those of you that know, it was a long time hoax that has been long since debunked. But I found that odd that they would put those subjects in a Jeffrey Epstein deposition. It almost feels like they had her on stand, so they're going to ask her whatever they could, whatever they could get out of her. So basically, that was it. Her story is she didn't really know him. She didn't have business ties to him. She knew Ghislaine casually in passing, which I'm assuming maybe they met at a couple events they were both at, and that was it. Now, we know Bill had some sort of ties because there's pictures all over with him hanging out with him, and allegedly he went to the island and was on that plane and probably was. So that's going to be a different story, but his deposition's tomorrow. I honestly really wish they would have filmed, done it in front of camera. And I don't believe they're going to do Bill's in front of the camera either. So that's it for that. Now, as far as Nancy Guthrie, yesterday, a couple of SUVs were seen pulling up to Nancy's property. One of them actually pulled into the garage and they shut the door which leads people to believe whoever was in that SUV, they didn't want the media seeing who it was. It's now come out, it was alleged it was the feds, and still could be. There were a few of them, but also it has come out that the prosecutor's office was there as well. So some of those people that showed up there yesterday were the prosecutor's office. As of last night, all the media, including mainstream media and YouTube streamers, were all basically told to stay out of the neighborhood, stay out of the area. I guess they put like some sort of media ban on the entire neighborhood to keep them away from the house, which I understand they don't want them all over the property. I get that, because they can be a nuisance. They can get in the way. They can destroy whatever's going on. But to not let them even film from across the street, I don't think that's right. They basically kicked them out of the neighborhood. Now, here's what's interesting is when they first started asking for doorbell cams from various neighbors, they did a 2-mile radius. Now, a doorbell cam has come out today that was from a 2.1 mile radius. And the alleged reason why we hadn't seen it is because it wasn't asked for at first. It was just over the 2-point radius. No police officers had come to the doors out over the radius to knock on doors, and I know that happens. They'll knock on doors and ask if you have audio or video cam from such and such a night and stuff. But it just came out today, and it's from 2.1 miles away from somebody's Ring cam. It shows 2 cars, one going in either direction within a couple minutes time, that allegedly are suspicious. It was right at that time frame, the 12:48 in the morning time frame. I'm curious as to why they think it's suspicious. There were some YouTubers that were camped out there. They would even block areas so nobody else could get closer than they were. Also, were ordering food delivered and then right there on scene. Yeah, there were some. That's what I found interesting. There were a couple that were there today. I did notice that. But not as many. They were basically last night, they were being evicted out of the neighborhood. So, yeah, that's kind of funny too. They're evicting YouTubers and media out of the area, but they're letting some. Like, I wonder why that is. The one I was looking at, though, it kind of looked like they were camped out in the weeds, like hiding, across the street. I did see it, and I can't remember if it was late yesterday or early today. There was lawn maintenance was there today. So I don't know if they pushed them away to try to get things back to normal. I don't know what their thinking is there. Maybe getting things back to normal and getting it out of the public eye. Maybe the police can actually do a better job. Although I'm telling you, my opinion is I think that sheriff's department effed it up from the beginning. That's my opinion. I can't help it. I think they effed it up from the beginning, and that's what I had to say about that. So now I also wanted to tell you guys I'm going to do my first of my death row series. I'm going to do it on Sunday. I haven't picked a time yet. I am going to do it live. I'm going to try doing it live. I might change my mind, though. I might do a drop, a pre-record drop. I don't know yet. But I think I'm going to try and do it live. But as for today, let's take a look and see what's in the news regarding either one of these cases. With that said, with the Nancy Guthrie case, I really wish, I don't even know what would be the best way to tackle that at this point. Should the sheriff department step back and let the FBI take over? Because it's not like the FBI is the most reliable either. But what the heck? All right, so let's see what's in the news here. All right, so back to the Epstein thing. I do want to touch on something here. Let me make sure this doesn't go and play. There's a video on it. I don't want it to play. I just want to read the article. Okay, it's not a video. It's just a picture. Good. And pop-up ads. Yay! All right, so former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton told U.S. House lawmakers on Thursday that she had no knowledge of Epstein's or Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes at the start of 2 days of depositions that will also include former President Bill Clinton. The deposition was paused after Republican Rep. Lauren Boebert sent a photo of Hillary Clinton in the room to a conversation, conservative influencer who posted it on social media, violating the committee's rules for depositions. So basically, Republican Representative Lauren Boebert was basically sending out, leaking pictures to social media during this deposition illegally. So they're not even holding these depositions legally. So, you can't tell me there's not some sort of cover up here. The Clintons agreed to testify after their offers of sworn statements were rebuffed by the House Oversight Panel, whose chairman, Rep. James Comer, threatened criminal contempt of Congress charges against them. So basically, they wanted to give statements, and the congressional committee wanted testimony. So that, obviously after being threatened with contempt, they agreed. Bill Clinton's Friday testimony will be the first time a former president has been forced to testify before Congress. The latest sign that the demand for a reckoning over Epstein's abuse of underage girls has become, sorry guys, I'm getting the hiccups, has become a near unstoppable force on Capitol Hill and beyond. Hillary Clinton says she told lawmakers repeatedly she did not know Epstein. The former Secretary of State's deposition has ended, and she told reporters as she exited that she answered the same question again and again from lawmakers about whether she knew Jeffrey Epstein at all. I do not know how many times I had to say I did not know Jeffrey Epstein, Hillary Clinton said. She also told reporters that her and Bill Clinton had ended, or that her husband, Bill Clinton, had ended his relationship with Epstein before his abuse charges came to light in 2008. So basically, Bill Clinton ended his relationship with Epstein even before Donald Trump did, or right around the same time, 2008 was when his first charges came out, and they're stating that they didn't have anything to do with him after the charges came out. So we'll see if that's true. FBI fires agents who worked on Trump's classified document investigation. The FBI has fired additional agents who worked on an investigation into Trump, this time terminating employees who participated into the probe into the Republicans' hoarding of classified documents, people familiar with the matter said. So I don't know if that has anything to do with Epstein or not, but again, we'll find out. Because now it's coming out apparently that the DOJ has been destroying evidence, and this is alleged, has been destroying documents that mention Trump in the Epstein files. So again, this will all come out. So that was 6 hours of them asking Hillary over and over if she knew him. All right, let's see what else is in the news. See if we can find more information on anything coming out on the Guthrie case. Look over here. You see if there's something that came out this morning. Let's check out entertainment news. See if we can't find something happy. Right? Netflix walks away from Warner Brothers deal, clearing path for Paramount. Paramount already has a streaming service, though, don't they? So that means Netflix is going to go up. Pink denies reports that she is separated from husband. Well, they've been separated before, but they've always gotten back together. Pop singer Pink says she is not separated from her husband, former pro motocross racer Carey Hart, despite reports suggesting otherwise. People was the first to report the story based on an unnamed source Thursday under the headline, Pink separates from Carrie Hart for second time after 20 years of marriage. Shortly afterward, Pink posted a video to her official Instagram account describing the story as fake news, not true. I was just alerted to the fact that I'm separated from my husband. I didn't know. Thank you, People Magazine. Thank you, US Weekly. Thank you for letting me know, she said in the clip. I was wondering, would you also like to tell our children, my 14-year-old and my 9-year-old, are also unaware, or do you want to talk about some real news? People updated its story to acknowledge the Instagram denial. Its story said Pink's representative declined to comment and Hart's did not respond in the video. Pink listed a few current topics of conversation, including the Epstein files and the results of the 2026 Olympics, or the fact that she was nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Really? I guess it has been 25 years since she's been out, but the thing with that is she's newly eligible. And there's people that have been eligible for years. Pink and Hart were married in 2006. They separated in 2008 and reunited shortly thereafter. They have 2 children, Willow Hart, 14, and James Hart, 9. Let's see what else we have here. Really not a lot of big news. I don't want to get too much into too much news. You guys know me. I don't like to do politics. And unfortunately, most of the regular news anymore is all politics. Jesse, did you see that a woman who disappeared 24 years ago was recently found alive and well? Then she was arrested for a fail to appear warrant from 2001 for DUI. No. You know what? I think I saw something about somebody being found alive and well, but I didn't know. Let me look that up. Woman found after 24 years. Well, maybe that's why she went missing, because she had a DUI warrant out for her. Hang on one second. Yeah, here, I pulled it up. Here we go. This is from NBC News. And this is from 2 days ago. Mother who vanished 24 years ago was found alive, but still doesn't want her family to know where she is. A North Carolina sheriff said Michelle Hunley Smith, who disappeared after she went Christmas shopping in 2001, didn't want her location disclosed, even to her family. A family search for a mother who vanished decades ago ended with news that she was found alive and well, but she still doesn't want them to know where she is. Michelle Hunley Smith, who was 38 when she was reported missing in 2001, was found safe and sound last week, but doesn't want her whereabouts disclosed to her family or anyone else, the Rockingham County Sheriff said. At her request, her current whereabouts will remain undisclosed, the sheriff's office said in a statement Friday. Her family has been notified that she's been located and informed of this request as well. Smith has 2 daughters and a son. Daughter Amanda said on Facebook in 2021. On Tuesday, Sheriff Sam Page said Smith didn't explicitly say she didn't want her family to contact her, but she said he is unaware of any contact between the parties since she was located. Page and Smith indicated there were domestic issues before she left of her own accord, but he said the sheriff's office had no records related to such issues before she disappeared. Detectives have been in contact with the district attorney office and are conducting a full review of the case. Amanda was critical of authorities over the years, urging them to search woods between their home and her mother's shopping destination in Virginia. Amanda being the daughter. All right, so that was when they first found her. So let's go back and see. As of 3 hours ago, and this is from People magazine, a North Carolina who resurfaced 24 years after she was reported missing has now been arrested on an outstanding driving while impaired DUI charge dating back to 2001. Here's what's funny. There's a statute on ripping someone, but not on a DUI. Now I could see if somebody was injured or unalived, yeah. All right, so back to the story here. Michelle Hunley Smith was taken into custody in Robeson County on an outstanding failure to appear warrant tied to the November 2001 DWI charge. Oh, so she got this DWI charge after she went missing. According to a Rockingham County Sheriff's Office press release, court records show Smith was cited for driving while impaired on November 11, 2001, and failed to appear in court December 27, 2001, per the release. She was arrested on Wednesday, February 25th, and posted bond the same day. She is scheduled to appear in Rockingham County District Court on March 26th. Well, obviously, if she stayed locally, she hasn't been driving, or she wouldn't have been able to keep her license. People previously reported that Smith was 38 years old when she disappeared on December 9th, 2000. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought she disappeared earlier that year. No, she disappeared after her DUI charge. After she left Rockingham County, North Carolina home to go Christmas shopping in Martinsville, Virginia, and never returned. Her husband told authorities at the time that she did not come back. Earlier this month, detectives made contact with Smith at an undisclosed location in North Carolina after receiving new information in the decades-old case. Smith, a mother of three, told investigators she left in 2001 due to ongoing domestic issues. Authorities said there were no prior domestic reports on file and no evidence of foul play. Rockingham County District Attorney Katie Gregg said that there was not enough evidence to pursue criminal charges related to Smith's disappearance, such as abandonment. However, the original DUI charge remained active. Over the years, local, state, and federal agencies, including the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation and the FBI, assisted in investigation per the outlet. People previously reported that Smith's daughter expressed mixed emotions after learning her mother was alive, writing on social media that she felt ecstatic, pissed, heartbroken, and all over the map. So, yeah, that's the story. Very interesting. Ed Randazzo. Familiar name, Mr. Randazzo. Um, what are you up to these days, Ed? Are you still singing? Damn, 9 people, you are rocking, Jesse. Well, you know what? Really, MFU. Um, guys, if you guys have a wrench, you can get rid of trolls. Did you? No, we don't talk about other YouTubers on here. So you're gone too, both of you. You're both gone. Hide and hide. See you. Bye. Both of you are gone. Hello, Jenny Twinkle Toes. How are you? No, we don't. I don't talk about anybody over in that genre. Not good, not bad. No, no. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Thank you. All right, so let's see what else we have in the news here. Give me a second here. All righty. Give me 1 minute. It would help if I typed news in properly. Okay, so according to the Washington Post, the DOJ is reviewing if Epstein files with Trump allegations were wrongly withheld. More news. I don't know if I want to get into that story. Okay, now Axios, which I'm not familiar with this news outlet, but it seems to be the only one reporting this, is that I'm not even going to bother talking about it because you know what? I don't know if it's a confirmed story or not. It's all political. I don't want to talk about politics. So let's talk about this Netflix thing here. All right, Hollywood, California. Netflix Inc. today announced that it has declined to raise its offer for Warner Brothers. Netflix had earlier received notice from Warner Brothers Discovery that its board of directors has determined Paramount Skydanka's latest proposal constitutes a superior proposal under the terms of WBD's existing merger agreement with Netflix. Netflix issued the following statement in response from the CEOs. The transaction we negotiated would have created shareholder value with a clear path to regulatory approval. However, we've always been disciplined, and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer, the deal is no longer financially attractive. So we are declining to match the Paramount Skydance bid. Warner Brothers is a world-class organization, and we want to thank David Zaslav, Gunnar Wiedenfeld, Bruce Campbell, Brad Singer, and the WBD board for running a fair and rigorous process. So I guess they aren't going to go to Paramount, if I'm understanding this. It's not nice to talk about anybody, it just being problems. Yeah, my channel, I've never had that channel. I've never wanted my channel to be like that. I've been getting dragged into too much shit, and it's like, I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. I'll come on here, I'll do my show the way I want to do it. We'll talk about stuff in the news, stuff that makes us happy, things we want to talk about. I don't want to get into ripping people apart. I don't want to hear about people ripping me apart. It's not productive to me. I'll come here, I'll do my shows, I'll go visit Angel on hers, and I'll go visit Jeff on his, and we can do that. And if I have to keep blocking troll after troll, I will. That's just the way it's going to be. And I don't care if there are 8 people in here. Those 8 people are sitting here listening to me. And I'm not going to discuss other people's business on here. I'm just not going to do it. I'm done. You know what? I don't care what anybody does. I don't go real life on people. I don't want, I don't want people's real life being brought to my show. I don't want any of this. I don't want drama being brought over. I'm not going to have it. If you want to come on here and you want to discuss your favorite movie, your favorite music, something you saw in the news today, you want to talk about the Epstein case, the Guthrie case, you know what? Maybe I will do a pre-record for my... No, it's not healthy at all. It really isn't. I don't like talking about other people. It's not very nice. It's not healthy. And people need to move on and get over it. Like I said, you want to talk about Epstein case, the Guthrie case. I will, now I think about it, I think I will do a pre-record for my Death Row series. That way I can premiere it and then be in the chat to just wipe out trolls. Because it is really hard to keep an eye on the chat when you're trying to run a show. And you've got people running rampant in the chat, trolling the chat. I'm not going to do it. I don't care about other people's lives. I really don't. And to be honest, I do like the other people, but you know. Listen. I'm going to address this once. There's a lot of people I do like. Sadly, they're, on a different side of the fence. So I'll leave them be. There's no need to argue with people. And that's where it stands. I'm not going to argue with people. I'm not going to sit here and I'm done with that crap. Like I said, I don't care. I got 12 people in here now. You know what? These 12 people made a point to come see my show. Maybe they're waiting for me to explode. Sorry, guys, it's not going to happen. So, the 4 of you that are waiting for drama may as well drop down and leave it to the 8 people that do want to be here. It's, listen, just because certain people don't come around or certain people aren't friendly like they were anymore, doesn't mean we all have to be enemies. I'm doing my thing and moving forward. Hello, Wyatt, my sweetheart. How are you? You're a little bit late today, Wyatt. How are things going? Wyatt, are you out in Arizona right now? Hang on for a second, guys. I want to check one thing. I actually, like I said, I've been busy moving. No, I'm in Missouri. You're moving. Where are you moving to, Wyatt? Where are you moving to, Wyatt? Or you don't want to say? If you don't want to say, that's fine too. I'm trying to look something up here, guys. I'm looking to see. I'm trying to think. Here we go. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. New, good. See, I have it set up to I've been busy moving to a retirement. Oh, don't say that, Wyatt. Don't say you're moving to a retirement community. People run around saying you're in a nursing home. All right, that I'll say. James Proctor's channel will definitely be back up soon. That I will say. That's all I'm going to comment on. But I'm not getting into the drama of it. Is this voluntary, Wyatt, or you just feel it's time? I think you'll have a great time. I think you're going to have to beat off the women with a stick because I think they're going to be all over you, Wyatt. Or I think you're going to have a date every night of the week. All right, let's see. Do one more scope of the news here. Oddities. We haven't checked oddities in a little while. They don't really update that as often. Like, there aren't really too many weird news stories, but nothing interesting. How did you guys like the Olympics? I mean, I'm glad the men's and women's US hockey teams brought home gold. And I will be celebrating 50,000 subs by Sunday. That's right, guys. Angel's almost up to 50,000 subs. My health is the reason why I'm moving. Oh, you better stay in touch with me, Wyatt. You better come visit the show. That is awesome. That's an amazing achievement. Um, I wish I had I have to set up a sound bar. I wish I had a little um, applause sound bar. Oh, well, Jesse, I actually got into that sport curling after all these years. Curling's okay. I usually like watching the ice skating. I like the singles and the pair. They don't call them couples ice skating anymore. They call it pair ice skating. I like that, but I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with any of them this year. What I have noticed though is over the years the ice skaters have gotten taller. Like, I don't know if you guys remember back in like 98 who it was, Tara Lipinski and Michelle Kwan. They were like 5'1" and 5'2". Now they're all these like long leggy beautiful tall women and I'm like, damn. Yes, I enjoy the ice skating also and some skiing. Yeah, skiing's okay. I showed my analytics the other night, so not true. What's not true, Angel? I don't see. Did somebody say something? I did feel bad for Ilya from the US. He had too much pressure on him and came in eighth. Did he? Am I wrong? Did he get injured? Didn't he have an injury or something? And even if they were, who cares? Not me. You're not into sports, Wyatt? Is someone talking crap in chat? Let me see. Oh, he fell twice. Okay, yeah, I remembered he fell. I thought maybe he was injured. Let me see. Jennifer 4x4. I'm in from the bushes. Well, come on in from the bushes. I wish more people would come out from the bushes and come into the treehouse. I don't bite. Not here. Not hard anyway. I just nibble a little bit, Jennifer. um yeah, he tried hard. They all tried hard. And listen, they are great athletes. I don't know, just wasn't impressed this year. So you got into curling. I don't know. It's kind of like really freezing cold shuffleboard to me. Like Hi, Kathy. How are you, sweetheart? I don't know, Heather. It seems like shuffleboard to me. I'm like, okay, I'm glad people appreciate it, but is shuffleboard really an Olympic sport? Although they do have to do it on ice skates, and that's not easy. So maybe I'm a jerk for picking on it. I can't do ice skates. I can do roller skates, I can do roller blades, but I can't do ice skates. Yeah, but you're pushing it with a stick. So you have leverage. You have the law of leverage with you. You're pushing it with a stick. Um, and it is a big stone. You're right. It is heavy, but you're pushing it with a stick. It's not like you're on the ground pushing it with your bare hand. There's my Kathy. No stick. They push it at first with their hand. The broom doesn't touch it. They just sweep. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So they push it with their hand and then sweep in front of it. That's right. They sweep in front of it. You're right. You're right. Maybe I should actually watch it more before I criticize it, huh, Heather? I like the ski jumps and the giant slalom sports. I would never do. Yeah, the ski jumps are good. I like the ski jumps. Um, I'm always impressed though with the pair skates. Like they're moving so fast on these blades, and the guy will pick the girl up and literally like twirl the girl on his hand while he's skating. Like that always amazed me. Or you see him like the girl's standing on his legs and like he's going around, and I'm like, that blade's got to be painful on your leg. How do you manage to keep going around the ice skating rink when you literally have a blade digging into your thigh? Like, I don't know. That always just amazed me. It's my first year getting into it. But that always has amazed me, like how the guy can literally skate around the rink with a blade in his leg. Oh, thank you. It's actually a couple years old, but I figured I'd put it up. It depends on how they stand on the leg. Learned that also this year. Well, yeah, but you still gotta figure they're standing on his leg, on his thigh with a blade. You can't tell me that doesn't hurt. Now, do they get used to it? Can they push through it? Yes, they can, but you cannot tell me it doesn't hurt. I mean, granted, if she's leaning forward, her full body weight isn't on that leg, but he's also holding her other skate in his hand, too. So I don't know. I think I watch it because I think I'm jealous. I wish I had that kind of mobility and I don't. um I like it's just such a beautiful sport to me. Um well, yeah, cuz like you got to figure if they are leaning forward then the weight's more probably on wherever their hands are, but the guy usually has her other blade in his hand. So I don't know. I don't know. It's amazing to me. When did the Summer Olympics come around? 2028, right? Um are they going to be in LA this year or that year? Let me look it up. Friday, July 14th, 2028 to Sunday, July 30th, 2028. Um that's the date. Yes, the 2028 Summer Olympics are still scheduled to be held in Los Angeles, with the games set for July 14th through the 30th, and preparations are well underway for LA to host for the third time. And that's amazing to me. Why do they keep going to LA? Shouldn't they um once in a while put it in a different part of the country? So the Summer Olympics will use over 40 venues, focusing on existing stadiums and arenas in Los Angeles, like Long Beach, Inglewood, Venice, and even other US cities for certain events like soccer. LA 28 aims to be the first Olympics without newly built permanent venues, relying on existing infrastructure and temporary facilities, and is working towards being energy positive. The new the new summer sports for the LA 2028 Olympics: cricket, flag football, lacrosse, squash, baseball, and softball. Cool. Los Angeles will become the third city after London and Paris to host the Summer Olympics 3 times. Well, maybe that's why they're going back to LA, so they don't have to rebuild new structures. I was putting the baby to sleep. What's the Nancy Guthrie update? Okay, so as far as the Nancy Guthrie update, there's newly surfaced ring cam video. The original radius that they went out was 2 miles from her house. There's newly surfaced ring cam video from a house that's 2.1 miles away. They're focusing on that same time frame from that night. There were 2 separate cars, one that went in either direction that they're calling suspicious. So, yeah, it's 2 cars on a road 2.1 miles away. Could be nothing, could be something. Who knows? I think a lot of people hate driving in LA, Wyatt. But so that's the newest thing. Yesterday, a couple of SUVs pulled up. One of them actually pulled into the garage and they shut the garage door, which leads people to believe that whoever was in that SUV, they didn't want the media seeing who got out of it. And they went into the house. They went to the front of the house. It turns out they were feds, but they were also the prosecution team. Part of the prosecution team was there yesterday. I like you, Kathy. You're such a sweet. Kathy is a sweetheart. I hope they catch him, the guy that took her. I think there's more than one person. There has to be. Now, is there only one idiot that got caught on the Ring doorbell 2 times? Probably. But there's got to be more than one person to pull this off. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's one person or more than one person? I think Kathy thinks it's more than one. Yes, so do I. And I agree with you, Kathy. This case, the sheriff's department, I think, effed it up from the beginning. Has anyone woke up to someone in your home? I have. It was terrifying. No, not anybody that didn't belong there. Have I woken up to somebody standing over me? Yes. And it is terrifying. Until you find out it's one of your kids, and then you don't know whether to laugh, cry, or ground them for a week. And they really dropped the ball. They did. They did. Why was the FBI yesterday? FBI. That's the thing we don't know. But it was the FBI and the prosecutor's office as well, Angel, that was there. So, like, were you being robbed or something, Jennifer? Or like, what was the situation? And they are getting rid of all the. They did, yeah. They pretty much evicted the press out of the neighborhood. There were a couple of YouTubers nearby today. I think they were kind of hiding out in the weeds the way it looked. Um, but yeah, they evicted the press last night. I was already not happy with Arizona law enforcement. Now the Guthrie case just makes it so much worse. Are you familiar with that area, Heather? I sleep with a pew pew under my pillow. Mine's not under my pillow, but it's close enough. It's close enough. If I wake up, I can grab it. Um, I think Nanos just, for all of his years of experience, I just don't think I don't think a lot of those communities have experience with these types of cases. Wild horses being unalived? I didn't know about that. I'll have to look into that. What's that about? He came in a window while I was asleep, and I woke up and I was talking to him. I thought he was part of my dream. Yikes, Jennifer. Oh my gosh. That's scary. Well, obviously you're okay now, but like were you able to call the police or did he run away before you could call the police? Like what happened? Robbery was not the motive. Oh. Do you think he was gonna assault you? 9 in January. Before that, at least 30 others over you. Oh my gosh. Well, that would fall under the Department of Agriculture, right, Heather? No? That would be a federal thing, I would think. Like I'm seriously hoping, Jennifer, that you're going to tell me he ran away and left you alone once you woke up. Okay, I'm looking here. It falls under the US Forest Service. So that would be federal, I would think. I am armed now. It will never happen again. This was over 40 years ago. Well, Heather or Jennifer, yeah, I'm glad you're armed. Listen, I know people think I'm this huge liberal and whatnot, and maybe I am Democrat, but I still believe in the right to bear arms and being able to protect yourself. So I do advise women, whether you live alone or even with someone else, I mean, be responsible about if you have kids and whatnot. You can't leave a pew pew laying around, but you know, prepare yourself. I feel awful that that happened to you. So the wild horses falls under the Forestry Service. This incident occurring in the Black Mesa Ranger District. Why would somebody pew pew horses? That just like in late 2022, dozens of feral horses were unalived in the same national forest. Um, in 2018, nearly 200 passed away due to drought and lack of water. But that was, that unfortunately you can't do anything about. Um, but the ones in 2022 were killed in the same manner of the more recent ones. While some herds, like the Salt River horses, have state level protection against harassment and killing, many other herds in the national forest face ongoing conflicts regarding management. Herd management, the presence of these horses on federal land is controversial, with debates over the impact on the ecosystem leading to varied opinions from conservationists and local officials. What impact do these horses have in the forest? I have several pew pews laying around my house. Yeah, definitely bolt your windows. Yeah, definitely. Lots of people hate these horses. Well, listen, I don't care for skunks, but you don't see me out shooting them. They remove horses stating no food or water. Then they allow domesticated cattle on that same land to feed and get water. Listen, those horses were roaming the land long before we were out there. Now, I will tell you this, here in Pennsylvania, they will let you hunt deer. And depending on the population, is how many you're allowed to hunt in a year. But you have to buy licenses. And they'll never let the population go below to where they're close to being extinct. With the deer, I will tell you this, if they do get overpopulated, you kind of have to slim the herd, so to speak. But in all fairness, most of the hunters I know will hunt for food, we use the meat. I read somewhere several years ago that somebody unloaded fire extinguishers on wild horses. What? What? A fire extinguisher on a horse? That is cruel. What they do? Blast them in their face? Listen, horses are big animals and their eyeballs are huge. Okay? So when you walk up to them, they're seeing you 10 times bigger than you really are. Um, so I can only imagine how a fire extinguisher flying out at them, the foam flying out at them would frighten the daylights out of them. They do all kinds of things to the wild horses all over our out west. Oh my gosh, that's so cruel. And like I said, I mean, horses were here before we were. Seriously. Like, I guess I really do kind of live in my own little, entitled bubble in a way. How awful. Yeah, I don't like any animal suffering either. Just like with the helicopter roundups, they at times have been known to actually hit the horses with the helicopter blades. Do they are they doing it on purpose? We have all kinds of wild horses in Montana. Well, I bet you do. You know what? I just never thought like Arizona would have a lot of wild horses because I think about Arizona, I think dry desert, but I guess, you know, the bottom of the copter, they get that low. Yeah, but are they hitting them on purpose? Or is it a situation where they're trying to get low enough to frighten them off, but then they accidentally hit them? Like, I don't know. If they're accidentally hitting them, then they need to seriously go get recertified in flying a helicopter. Um, but let me tell you something. You don't have to be that close to the ground to scare somebody away, especially horses. I would think, they don't even have to be. I would think they don't even have to be like 100 feet above them before they get scared and run off. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Why do people come on here and tell me this bad stuff? And I'm going to go look it up and I'm going to cry all night. No, but it does need to be talked about because people need to know about it. Oh my gosh. All right, current investigation details discovering action. Necropsies confirmed the horses were shot and the carcasses have since been buried by forest officials. There's a $5,000 reward being offered by the Forest Service for information leading to an arrest and conviction, private advocates have reportedly offered. Authorities are urging anyone with information to contact Navajo County Sheriff's Office tip line, and I'll put it out there, 928-524-9908. While the Wild and Free Roaming Horses and Burros Act of 1971 protects many herds, there is an ongoing legal debate. Forest Service representatives have sometimes classified certain killed horses as feral or unauthorized livestock, which lack the same federal protections as designated wild. Why? They should still be protected. Local tensions. Some locals view the horses as a nuisance that competes with cattle for grass or displaces native wildlife, while advocates emphasize their historical value and role in tourism. It displaces native wildlife. Horses are native to that area. Am I wrong? Heather, am I wrong here? Sorry, it is what I do. I fight for them. Yes, I know that comes as a shock. No, no, no. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. But Heather, am I wrong? Like, they're saying that these horses are a nuisance and they displace native wildlife. Meanwhile, they're replacing the horses with cattle. I'm sorry, but are the horses not native to that area? Okay, good. All right. I thought I was going a little loony there. And like I said, I'm not completely against deer hunting. Like I said, I have family members that do it, but when they hunt deer, we use every bit of the deer, you know, we stock our freezers, it's not necessarily killing for sport, you won't find any hunter in my family with antlers on their wall. Um, they hide them in the garage, so they could pretend to be politically correct, I guess. um, but everybody wants to complain that deer overrun the roads and they overpopulate, but wait a minute, you just plowed down a field and built a house in their home. Advocates are out taking videos and pics every day of the areas. Oh, so they're lying about these horses being starving and have no water. So what are they trying to say, that they're mercy killings? But then that's like, you can't get away, and I agree with you. You can't get away with saying that and then replacing the animals with cattle. I have deer heads in my house. I bet you do, Wyatt. You probably have a bunch of different heads on sticks and mounted on your wall. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my gosh, Heather. All right, Kathy, sweetheart, good night. I think I'm going to wrap it up soon myself anyway. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to look more into this and depress myself. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know if I'm going to do a show tomorrow night. I'll definitely do one Saturday night. I'll do a live Saturday night, and then Sunday I haven't decided if I'm going to do it live or I'm going to drop a pre-record yet, but Sunday will be the first of my death row series. Why? I believe you for some reason. Just know people are out there fighting for them however we can. Well, that is good to know. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm going to wrap it up. We've been on now an hour and 24 minutes. Mickey Griggs has them in his house too. Listen, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you guys. But I love you all. Thank you all for stopping by. All 14, 15, 16 of you. However many it is. I love you all. Try to be kind. And I'll see you guys all in the next chat room. Have a great night, everyone.